Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Reddit OY. Today we're going to be doing some more r/entitled parents, episode 2. And let's get right into the stories. Alright, and for the first story, EP tells me to get out of my house. Backstory. I'm 14 and I love playing video games, like any other 14-year-old does. I also have a little sister who just around a week ago turned 10. Also, mind that all of this is translated in English, so the dialogue is a bit off. So this happened a week ago at my little sister's birthday party. Now I am lucky to live in a 2-story house, so as any other 10-year-old, my sister invited all of her classmates, and I mean all of them. Now I hate children, except for my sister and my cousin. So as not to interact with them, I stayed in my room in the second floor, and I played God of War on my PlayStation. So the party was downstairs, and I didn't think that anyone would come to my room. So I was playing until I heard a knock on my door. It was quite a long time since the party started, so I thought it was my mother to tell me that we were cutting cake and singing happy birthday. And I say, come in. Me is a dinosaur EK. Is entitled kid, ED is entitled dad, and M is my mom. Me is a dinosaur. Okay, that's funny. Alright. Me. Come in. EK, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Me? Sure. It's where it was. EK? Okay, thanks. So it passes some time and I hear another knock on my door. I say, come in. ED, why did you kick my son out of your room? He just asked for the bathroom. ED, don't lie to me. Steps inside the room, huh? What is this game? You are traumatizing my child with that violence and sexuality. It's effing God of War. Sexuality? Question mark. Me? It's just a game. Can you please get out? ED. No, I won't until you explain why are you playing this game in front of my son. Me? I wasn't playing it in front of your son. Now get out. ED. Listen here, young man. Stop lying and get out of the effing house. Me? Huh? You realize this is my house, right? ED. I don't care. Get out and give my son your Xbox. Me? You can't tell me what to do. It's my house, and this is a PlayStation, not an Xbox. Here comes my mom, and she is really fed up with what is happening. M. What is going on here? ED. Your son was watching porn in front of my son. She looked at the screen like, get the F out of my house and never step in here again. Sorry if it's pretty big. I just felt the need to share it with you guys. So, and for the first story, for my thoughts and opinions, I'm going to give this... I understand the need to get away from small children. Nobody likes them. At all. Unless you're a people person. But for them to just say, and I quote, get out of the house... Oh, wait, no, not quote that. God damn it. And quote, you realize... Or, ED, I don't care. Get out and give my son your Xbox. That was just too far. I mean, if you're one of those people who says, get out of your house and give my son your Xbox. That just isn't something that happens normally, you know? So, I'm glad your mom intervened. That entitled dad seemed like an utter piece of shit, but yeah. Alright, so let's move on to story number 2. Alright, now getting into story number 2. EM drops her newborn in my arms and claimed I stole her. Hi everyone, I recently discovered r/entitled parents, and I wanted to share a few stories. I have worked in shops since I was 14 years old, and have worked in many different places. I've seen some wacky stuff. Sometimes an entitled parent with an entitled brat, sometimes only one of those, but they're always a pain. Also, a lot of rude people looking down on me because I'm just an employee in a shop means that I'm worth even less than trash. Moving on to the first story, it's a long one, and probably the craziest thing, but it got a happy end. It happened about 5 years ago, back when I was working in a costume shop, and it was around Halloween. As always, me, yours truly, EM, entitled mom, F1, EM, friend number 1, entitled mom, friend number 1, F2, entitled mom, friend number 2, M, manager. No entitled kids in this one. Also, English is not my maternal language, and I'm translating this incident, so bear with me, please. So as I said, I was working in a costume shop around Halloween. Very fun place to work at. Getting along with everybody and people are glad to be here to pick up costumes. All is going well. It's an early afternoon on a Saturday, and there are a lot of people in the shop. Just as an inside, before I keep going, do not take young kids' babies to a shopping center early afternoon. They should be napping at this time. Tired kids plus shopping mall will only go wrong. Okay, I'm done. Moving on. Then I see 3 ladies looking at costumes. They're probably in their late 20s or early 30s. One of them has a little girl around 2 to 3 years old in a stroller dozing off, and the other baby looks no older than a month in her arms. I go over to them and ask if they need help finding a costume. They start right off the bat complaining about the prices and how the stench marks from childbirth are gonna show the stretch marks from childbirth are gonna show in all the costumes. Like either of those things are my fault. But I stay calm and polite and try to do my job and get this over with as much as possible. Then the newborn baby gets fussy and starts crying. The mom looks so annoyed and just lightly rocks the baby to calm her. I learned her name and gender later on, but pays no more attention than that. Baby keeps crying. Hungry maybe? Full diaper? Or maybe there was just too much noise and she got scared. I don't know. Then the conversation went like this. E.M. Arg. Just stop crying already, to her friends. I just fed her like 3 hours ago. For those not familiar than babies, that's more than enough for a newborn to get hungry again. F1. She'll settle down soon, don't worry about it. E.M. Yeah, but I've got to pick up the costume today, and I can't do anything with her just wailing like that. F2. Just put her down until you're done with something. E.M. Hey you! Almost dropped the baby in my arms. Be a dear and take Kath while I choose my costume. At that point, I'm just too baffled to talk. I just stand here with baby Kath in my arms. Now, to be honest, I love babies and kids, and hate to see a crying baby unattended, and I'm already an experienced babysitter at that point in time. So I just lay her in my arms, rock her gently, and I start softly singing a song my mom would sing to me when I was little. E.M. Could you stop that? Me. What? That annoying song. I'm losing focus on what I'm doing. Beside, what kind of nursery rhyme is that? It was more of a poem than a song, written by a very old famous songwriter. Me. Just a little song to calm her down. E.M. Well, stop. It's annoying. Me. Look, miss, you put her in my arms. I'm just trying to help her. E.M. Are you implying I can't take care of my kid? Me. Well, you did drop her in my arms while you do something else, and I'm a complete stranger. F2. Well, it's your job. Me. No, I'm not a babysitter here. I'm here to help with customers. E.M. Give her back to me. She almost yanks the baby out of my arms, which makes her cry louder than before. One of my colleagues, who was the shop responsible at the moment, so let's call her manager, comes and asks if everything is alright. E.M. No, that effing bitch tried to steal my baby. Don't you people check employees' backgrounds before hiring them? She's a crazy, unstable bitch. She hurt my calf. Me? What? No, it's... M. I want her fired right now. Call security. Her friend with no kid runs outside to get a security officer, and she looked at me with so much evil in her eyes, the devil would have backed away. Me? Or M. What happened here? Me? I came by to ask if they needed help, and then that bitch tried to take my baby. On that note, the security comes running in. Everybody is looking at us, and I've never felt so embarrassed or scared in my life. But lucky me, we have cameras in the shop. So after I tried explaining what happened, and E.M. always cutting me, the guard asks to see the videos, which me and manager gladly accept. The guard took me, manager, and entitled mother with her baby and her friends to the security office, and we watched the video. There was no audio, but you didn't need to see she was the one fault for how she dropped the baby in my arms on her own accord. The officer tells me I can go back to work or stay with them until the police and CPS come. E.M. freaked out when she spoke of the child protection, but she was... when he spoke of child protection, but he told her she was just an irresponsible mother and how he had reasons to doubt about her capacity to take care of her babies since she could just hand her over to a stranger so easily. Needless to say, I stayed and told everything to the police when they arrived. The friends tried to defend her at first, but they got really quiet when the police arrived. The officers offered me to press charges, assault and false accusations, but since she didn't really do anything to me, I declined. I was more worried about the baby, but they assured me she would be fine. When they took her and her baby, if looks could kill, I wouldn't be writing this story right now. She was yelling insults at me, calling me a crappy brat, a jerk, and a crazy bitch again. Since I didn't press charges, I don't really know what happened after that. CPS did call me again to confirm my testimony, but that's it. I can only hope that baby Kath is safe and loved. I've got many other stories, but this is by far one of the craziest to share. I also got somewhat good ending since she didn't get her way. Entitled crazy woman got what she deserved, at least what I think. She seems like the kind who acted spoiled, irresponsible, and bratty her whole life. But once she got the baby, that's no longer possible. So, for my thoughts and opinions, wow. Okay, first off, all of these people working in stores when this happens, it's just crazy. But the number one thought about this story that I have, why would someone like that ever get married? Who would marry someone like that? Here, throws child. Take care of this thing. And I just want to point out, when her friends, to be more specific, tried to defend herself for no reason when you guys had security tapes, well, it's just stupid. You're getting yourself in more trouble than you were going to. And the death stare, I'm all too familiar with it. So, I give this story good, but not too good. Obviously, the writing was shabby, only because they were not originally English, so I'm gonna just give it good. So, with that, let's move on to story number 3. And moving on to story number 3, we're going with this one. You should have lost, my perfect son should have won. Alright, so, how is everyone doing? So, my backstory is pretty important for this story. I tried out for a team in my school. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called TSA, Technology Student Association, not the TSA at airports. I worked really hard on my TSA challenge, promotional marketing, and I live in Virginia. There are many regions in Virginia. My region just had its competition on the 23rd. I did pretty well, and a backstory. Sorry if it looks weird, I'm on mobile. ED, entitled Dad. AK, annoying kid. MT, my teacher. D, dad. NL, nice lady. SG, security guard. Me, meatball elephant. I was pretty nervous since it was my first year doing TSA and one of my first times being in a competition. I went to the library, the regional competition was held in a high school, to turn in my stuff. There was a nice lady at the desk. She said, NL, are you turning your stuff in for promotional marketing? Me? Yes, ma'am. NL, what's your name? Me, meatball elephant. NL, thank you. The entitled dad was standing behind me the whole time, so when I turned around, he was looking at me and said, Edie, my son is going to beat you. You're not even going to place top 10. Me, trying to be polite. Well, good luck, and I don't care if your son beats me. At least I tried. I left to go find my dad. He was getting coffee. I didn't tell him what happened because I didn't care much for it. I went home and came back around 4:45 for the award ceremony. I told my friends what happened and they laughed and we played Smash Bros. We all went in the auditorium and the first challenge that they were announcing was promotional marketing. My heart dropped to my stomach. They announced the third place winner, someone from another school. Then second, they said my name and I was happy. And then first, someone I didn't go to school with. Oh, and first place, someone from the school I go to. but she did really good on her project, so I see why. All the other challenges got announced, and the thing ended. I was talking to one of my friends, then AK and ED, my dad. Then enters AK and ED. My dad was talking to my teacher, and so he didn't notice it until the ED yelled at me. Me and my friend, did you get piranha plant? ED interrupts my conversation. How did you win? Me, because I put at least 20 to 30 hours into this project. My friend dipped when the ED started talking to me. He reads this subway Reddit. Oh, that stutter. AK, whisper something to ED. I couldn't hear it. AK, give me your trophy. You don't need it. Me, excuse me? I won this trophy fair and square. Can you just leave me alone? ED started yelling. You're a cheater. You should be kicked out of the TSA. This got the attention of everyone in the auditorium. Around 300 to 500 people, including my dad and my teacher. Dad, what's going on? ED, this kid cheated and stole my son's trophy. Me, in my mind, how stupid can you be? 1, they announced my name. 2, I think he thought he was talking to my teacher and not my dad. Me and my dad look alike. MT. They announced... my teacher. They announced his name and he won. So can you please excuse us so we go back to the school and celebrate? My school was #1 in the region. They also announced that. While this was going down, my friend, the one that dipped, got the security guard. Security guard, what's going on, sir? ED, he cheated and stole my son's trophy. Then comes NL, my savior. NL, he didn't steal the kid's trophy. I was the one that reviewed his work and announced that he won second. And the ED harassed him while he was turning in his project. The AK and ED were both embarrassed. They were kicked out of the school, that's not all. They tried confronting me and my dad in the parking lot. Jesus. But the SG was there to stop them. I left to go back to school. We celebrated and I got to eat cake peacefully. While telling the story to my friends. I also heard from someone that they got kicked out of his TSA's team. So, oof. The end. So, as always, guys, for that story, I can't believe they would act out like that in an auditorium full of 300 to 500 people, yelling, no less. I'd say the most important part about that story is when the entitled dad started yelling. That's just... You're not gonna win when you yell and, well, the person who is announcing all of the awards says that you're wrong and that you harassed a person while turning in the project. So, if I'm gonna say anything to this, I'd say I'm glad they got kicked out of the TSA. Still don't know what that is. You explained it, but I'm stupid. So, I'm glad they got kicked out, like I said. But the funny part is, they tried lying when there were multiple people around you that would back you up and prove that you weren't the one who did any wrong. And so with that, guys, I'm just going to be ending the episode here. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.